This is Hastadashini. English translate this with difficulty as black god. And then because of that, it takes on a ramification that this is a black god. But English is kind of difficult with this. This is best to call it Sir Black. The mask, this is my picture of a mask, a Navajo mask. It's a helmet mask that is made. The mask itself is the male. What it is representing is her, rather female. And what is very noticeable about it, first of all, this is the constellation we know as the Pleiades. In Navajo, they always put it in this shape, Tilyehi. Tilyehi means pointer. And you can see it has a point. So there's a story that goes with this, but I'm just making this simple. These two eyes are actually the constellations revolving around the pole star, Cassiopeia and Ursa Minor. So they're actually called the revolvers here. And this here to here, this is the rendering of a lunar month. The end of October, around there, to the winter solstice is no time. There's no time at all. There's only her. And that I can best render as blackness is her body. And somehow this becomes a character for the fire god. So there are implications for the fire. And so the mask will have a rim of like red yarn or something red to make that here. And this is the coyote fur, the ruff of it. Now keep there in that theme, come over here, and this is a Navajo sand painting of the same divine character here. And the white line running through that is the Milky Way, and the impersonator usually carries a firebrand or at least a fire drill, you know, some bark and a drill like that. So that's a sand painting that's, as far as I know, really rare that I could find that. If you go over to the other side, here's another way of seeing that. I would call this, you know, the giant giantess, the black giantess, put it that way. And you can see the Milky Way running through her. English has rendered this Father Sky, but here we're talking about the same thing in here. So now we're going to go to another character, this up here, I'm painting up here. This is a mask form of December's child in this time called Born for Water, Tobatsini, Born for Water. And that's the little bit of the story I'll recount to you. And to see, again, this is a helmet mask, and here is the blackness. Sometimes it's more triangular looking than this one, and over each eye is a little alluvial seashell, little shells here, like that. So the whole thing is determining this deity is about water, and these are rain streamers here. And a coyote breath, because coyote is, you'll see, is the midwife in this. Here the cross shape that is figured on the stone in this character becomes shaped like this. And for him, this is his mother's hair cord. That's, you know, so meaning that she ties her hair with this, and that's become its symbol there. And around the rim of the mask used to be made of like Spanish moss. The idea is to render all this for water. Nowadays they use horse hair, but in my painting I rendered this to simulate like Spanish moss. Before I did these paintings, I had made a series of these masks all in natural materials, like using, real leather and horsehair and things like that. And I had them shown in Nevada in the library there. They had a huge turnout. The librarian said over 300 people signed in for this exhibit. So that was a very, very good response to these. So here I have rendered since then these same subjects in my painting here. And all of that is what we're looking at, for this theme. Child born from water. And I'll give you the story in just a minute. Over here on the other side, this is a coyote wand. Coyote is very much, I'm saying like a midwife in this. It's very much implied, in this whole thing here. And when I go back over there to the stone, where have I put it? This stone I have, translated all into the Navajo images. So here, this figure down here, this is, a full-bodied portrait of Born for Water. It's also called Holy Boy, that kind of thing, And you can see he has the X's, the hair ties, painted on his body, and so forth. So, I didn't make this up. I have replicated this from an actual Hatali painting here. And here's Coyote down here. And this is Coyote, who you will hear in the story is upholding Holy Boy. And here in the water, this is a beaver. And over here, this is called water sprinkler. And here, this is a coyote star. So all of this is the way that we're rendering this in Navajo. One more thing, we take this here and bring it all the way over here, like this. On this, while on the rock, it is only a bowl of water, but in the story, in the myth, it's a lake. This is a lake, and this is my drawing of the lake. We would call it a sacred lake, like that. So it has a culture in itself. In Navajo, I would say it's Be'ikit Hozo. Now Hozo is always being rendered as Bike Hozo, beauty, happiness, like that. So that's what it would mean. It would mean, that this is the lake in beauty. And it's also synonymous with the mind. The clear mind is Hozo. The lake is Hozo. Everything is Hozo. To achieve, perfect balance and clarity is Hozo. The clear lake means the water that doesn't have things growing in it, vegetation and things like that. So that's how it's a synonym for a clear mind and Hozo. So that's my drawing for that here. And what I have here, these are all Navajo made things here. I can start with this one over here. It's a beautiful, this is made out of sumac, and it's made by a woman, Etta Ruch is her name, and maybe she lives over by Tuba City, and there's horsehair for the little handles of it. And she's devised a way on her own to use the pine pitch. She processes it in a way to get this beautiful honey transparency on it. And she's really proud of that. It's a specialty for her. Also, these Navajo-made pottery here, the potters look for, in Arizona there's ancient pot shards everywhere. So they look for those, and then they grind them up and use them for the grog. And the potter I talked to said that way they feel that there's this something ancient is in the clay. So they pretty much, they make these, they're not made on a wheel, they're made by hand. And this one, is the traditional with the rope around it. then I was saying, they are all covered with pine pitch. This one has been out in weather, where I found it, and the weather has washed or dried up all the pine pitch. Otherwise, they all look like this. So everything I can do to make this a Navajo sense here. So these here, I'm going to read a chantway, and this would be, well, the chant that's going to have this story in it is called the Big Star Chantway. So I have the star here. And then it will say that this is his blue staff that he comes searching. And I have a lizard on it because the lizard is what does the searching here. And then this is a prayer stick. This is a, in my rendering, this is a big snake prayer stick. And then this is the rock crystal. It's an actual one here. So with all of this, I'm going to do a reading, having a shield of the sun here. So I have to, we're in the nighttime now. This is called the Great Star Chantway that I'm reading here. And you'll, all the things that I show you, you'll see the way that they are relating in this chant. I should start out with the actual chant, Henia. Henia. Henia way. Henia. Can you do it?
Ho ho ho, Henia, Henia, ho ho ho, Henia, 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 yo, ho ho ho, Henia, 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 way, Henia.
That means, you know, he lives, or life has arrived, or the chant has arrived. So that is the beginning for this. From the center of the sky, born for water, using his blue staff, comes in to search for me. With lightning flashing behind him, he comes in to search for me. Using his rock crystal and prayer sticks, he comes in to search for me. At the emergence place, he comes in to search for me. Behind the great snake, where my feet lie, where my body lies, where my mind lies, where my voice lies, where the power of movement lies, I came in, searching for all these. Farther on, he comes in to search for me behind the great white snake. As the rainbow returns with me, and the prayer sticks teach me, he returns with me from the white snake Hogan. Kind feelings will come to you as you go about in life, my grandchild, he says to me as he sits down beside me. Guided by these things, you shall find protection in all places as you live on, my grandchild, he says to me as he sits down beside me. This enables you to live on in blessing. Blessed again, it has become a whole. Well, now I'm going to follow this with a poem that Claudia is going to come up here and read, and she'll introduce you to the poem. So I'm standing aside now.
I am proud and pleased to present this wonderful poem by my friend Vivian Olds in Wadsworth, Nevada, with the images that we have come to know and cherish there in a sacred way. This is for the solstice, winter solstice. I sit on the banks of the Truckee River, my back against the bellstone. My bare feet rest on the desert varnish terrace. I listen to the soft murmur of horses across the river on mountain paths. They, along with nighthawks, also await the sacred time. They witnessed Coyote finding his cord to this matriarchal site. I watch the light vanish as her sacred wheel moves, touches branches and feathers with a gnarled finger, kisses noses of deer, lifts her splintered crown of fractured light and ice, anoints winter with her soot-blackened cape and mead. Darkness stalks the canyon like a panther as each blade of light slithers downward, blocking even the reflection of starlight on the river. It is done. All is still. Time is altered and halted. Solstice celebrations begin.
Aho.